The Afghan conflict escalated dramatically in Kabul Monday. Taliban militants launched suicide attacks at key government targets, and when the government and NATO forces responded, the gun battles lasted for hours. The militants were aiming at civilian targets, too. One four-story shopping center near the Justice Ministry was engulfed in flames. Debris was strewn around the empty streets, which were sealed off by police. A car was burning after exploding between a shopping center and the Ministry of Education. A child was among those killed in the attacks and subsequent fighting. Dozens of people were wounded. The Defense Ministry says a number of militants were killed as well. It was the biggest strike in the capital since the end of October, when gunmen stormed a guest house used by UN staff. The last mass attack on government buildings took place nearly a year ago. The Taliban claimed 20 armed militants, some with suicide vests, had entered the city Monday to target the presidential palace and other government buildings. Inside the palace, President Hamid Karzai was swearing in his new cabinet members, despite the violence outside and despite the fact that Parliament had rejected the majority of his choices. Karzai acknowledged the attack but said such strikes were not the only dangers facing the country. He said security had been restored, but that Kabul was still being searched for any more militants. U.S. Envoy Richard Holbrooke condemned those behind the violence.
It's not surprising that the Taliban do this sort of thing. They're desperate people. They're ruthless.
The embassy said the U.S. will continue to stand with the Afghan people and the Afghan government to defeat what it calls the common enemy. But the events of the day left residents rattled and their faith in an already fragile government further shaken. Karen Sloan, The Associated Press.